my pimply ass ain't going to be on there. It's like the wrestling business. You cannot make that shit up.
Yo guys, Reinforcer Radio coming at you one more time, and many more times if you ask me. But I'm your host, my name is Jeff Lawhorne, and the guy sitting to my right, the Reinforcer, nice and tanned up, all ready to go here. Andrew, how's it going, brother?
I'm feeling no pain, I'm feeling happy, feeling glad to be here, and, you know, just looking forward to spending another hour and a half with you on Reinforcer Radio, telling some stories, reminiscing, and we have a wonderful, phenomenal guest that happens to be one of my best friends.
Yes, we are going to talk about that. The Cuban Assassin is going to be on with us, and you know, maybe his lovely wife will pop in, manager and everything. She'll have some stories to tell, I'm sure, because you know the ladies always have some great stories to tell about you guys.
Yep, and I'm sure the lovely Miss Karen will come on the show and appear and, you know, to talk to Fantasy and Cuban, because she loves them, their family, you know.
Yes, they are. And, you know, we had a little bit of a break there. We unfortunately missed like a week and a half or something like that. We do apologize that we didn't get things out to you guys. But
actually, we don't apologize because we had a damn good time.
We did have a damn good time. So you can see this guy over here is all tanned up and everything, and I am my normal pasty white self. So what that means is I actually went on a wonderful vacation.
That's not makeup. That is you.
That is me. It's all white going on. That's why I tattoo, right? Because that's the only color I get. But I had a wonderful cruise with my lovely wife, Kelly. And then right at the end of my cruise, Andrew and Karen, they went down to their home in Costa Rica. Unfortunately, right, not for anything that anybody wants to go for, but you did get to go and enjoy some time on the beach, some drinks.
Yeah, we had to go for a memorial. A close friend of Karen, and it was Karen's Costa Rica family passed away, and we went for the memorial, and it was really nice. It was a touching thing on the beach they did for him, and it was sad, but you know, we at the same time, you know, you try to make get happy moments. You know, she was sad, but at the same time, she got to see all of her friends, so pretty cool.
Yeah, and you guys looked like you were throwing some back and just really enjoying that sunshine. Did you have some beautiful weather?
Beautiful weather. I mean, it's a dry season in Costa Rica, and the sun was shining 24/7. You had a couple of days where it was overcast, but it was really, really, really nice. You know.
Yeah, we were really lucky too. We cruised. We left out of Miami. And we went to the Dominican Republic. We went to Puerto Rico, which is funny. We're going to have the Cuban Assassin, and he's going to talk some Puerto Rican wrestling with us. And then we went down to St. Thomas, and we didn't have one raindrop the entire week, which you can't beat when you're on a cruise. You know, you always run that risk of not being able to go to beach day or something like that. But we were extremely, extremely lucky. All three places we went to were nice, dry, maybe a little overcast here and there, but for the most part, dude, beautiful freaking weather.
Yeah, we had a really, really great trip. It was just beautiful. I mean, we lived close walking distance to 5 beaches. I think we hit 3 of them, right? We hit 3 of them that week. And I mean, we only had a week to go. We usually would go for a month at a time, but with our work schedules and everything, and you know, it was just, we had to come back stateside, and we had some great food, phenomenal food, and it was just fun. And Karen got to show off all her bikinis and all her sexy pics, which she's going to put up on Only Wrestlers at the lovely Miss Karen and Only Wrestlers page, and I'll put some not so sexy pics up on my Andrew Anderson Only Wrestlers page this week.
Well, and thank you for the from the last show when you gave me that nice little audio drop that I dropped in the beginning of the show there with your pimply ass. I thought that really made things better for the intro of the show. You know, I was able to work on, before I left there, I was able to work on a little bit more of the intro for for some of the people that they don't watch on YouTube all the time, they hit us up on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It's not just music. And believe it or not, that music, that is actually your music in the beginning of the show there. Is that not?
Yes, that's my original reinforcer music, and it's pretty damn cool.
It is very, very cool and nice and heavy and really gets you upbeat and ready for the show and everything like that. I did see a few pictures. Miss Karen was strutting her stuff on the beach out there, and gosh, Karen, I wish I had the confidence that you do, believe me, because, first off, I shouldn't be walking around in any thong bikinis because that's just scary to begin with.
You're a sick man.
But, hey, I guess everybody's got their thing, though, right? But, actually something really, really cool happened. I did call you about this, Andrew, but I wanted to share it with everybody just to show, like, how small the wrestling community really is. So my wife and I got off the ship in Puerto Rico. We were in San Juan. She really wanted me to go to San Juan because I'm a history buff, and she wanted me to see the beautiful old San Juan and all that stuff. And when you get off the ship, anybody who's cruised knows that basically they bombard you right away. They're trying to take you places. They want to sell you all this stuff, and they're trying to make a living. Well, I had my Reinforcer Andrew Anderson shirt on. I have a really awesome blue Andrew Anderson shirt just to support my buddy over here. And I threw that one on, and I walk off the ship, and there's a guy there, and he goes, "Hey, awesome shirt." And I'm like, "Awesome shirt?" I said, "You know who this guy is?" Thinking, like, I'm in Puerto Rico, man. And he goes, "Yeah, Andrew Anderson. Awesome, dude." And I was like, of course, I had a business card in my back pocket, so immediately I whipped the business card out for Reinforcer Radio and was like, "Well, make sure you check us out here." And he started telling me stories of all the professional wrestlers that he drives as a limo service. He said he had Rey Mysterio one time. He had a couple of people. He's actually been able to hold the actual world heavyweight title from the NWA.
Wow.
Like really, really cool stuff like that. But it all started because of a T-shirt with your mug on it.
That's it. Speaking of T-shirts, I gave you this one right here from the school that I trained at originally, East Coast Pro Wrestling. It's from East Coast Pro Wrestling, and it says "Creating Champions," and I gave you this one. This is for you.
I appreciate that. We talked a little bit last week or a couple weeks ago when Matt Jared was on about, he brings them all the time for me. In fact, I think my wife is going to start yelling at him soon that I have too many pro wrestling shirts. But it's part of the job. I got to wear them, right? I gotta throw something on. I got the Chris Jericho right here today.
I'm wearing one of my collar and elbow shirts.
See, so it's our wardrobe. We kind of have to do it. But so what else happened in Costa Rica, man? What kind of stuff did you guys do aside from working on the sweet tan, which I'm a little jealous.
We went all over Guanacaste and Potrero. We went to Villeta Beach. We went to Santiago Norte, which is a restaurant up on the hill. We had a romantic dinner up there and overlooking like the entire 3 of the 5 beaches, I think. So it was really, really cool. So it was wild, and just a lot of relaxation, and keeping everything in perspective. We needed the time off. I mean, she's been working like an animal. I mean, and she really needed that time off. So,
yeah, I mean, everybody, you get a little stir crazy. I know Kelly was getting pretty stir crazy, and she really needed to get away and get on the ship a little bit and just get out of here. You know what I mean? Just step away from Pennsylvania winter, which today feels like spring.
It was beautiful today. Today was a beautiful day. And as a matter of fact, with what Karen does in her professional life, she definitely needed the break.
Yes. Yeah, completely. I understand completely. Unfortunately, I got some terrible news on my way back from the cruise that I had lost a coworker and a friend. You guys know I'm a paramedic, and unfortunately, I ended up losing a very young man, Shane McCrae. Shane, I hope you're out of pain, brother, and I hope you're doing good things wherever we go after this life. We did celebrate his life over the weekend in a very nice funeral service. But, all I got to say is check on each other. Send out some love messages every once in a while to the people that you care about, because, Karen will tell you too that you never know when your last day is going to be. You never know when your time is up, your chapter's over. So I know I sent a message to Andrew, which he probably wasn't, used to. What's what we do in EMS when we lose somebody. We send out love to the people that we care about.
We do that in wrestling. I mean, that we call each other brother because, we see each other sometimes more than we see our own families at times, So, and unfortunately, the way it seems lately, it's like pro wrestling has been, out of all the sports, more wrestlers have passed away from everything from drugs to illness, and a lot of old age these days, because a lot of our legends are unfortunately not with us because of time, and so we're accustomed to saying, I love you, stay well, see you down the road, hopefully you will see them down the road, so.
Well, if anything, their legacy will live on, which is really awesome. That's one of the cool things with with social media and with the internet as vast as it is. It's really, really cool that, their careers, their love for the business and everything they've done to bring us this joy, is encapsulated into this world. So, we can continue to celebrate them and we can continue to talk about them. I mean, we do it, every episode with Kevin Sullivan. We talk about him. We want to make sure that his memory is always alive.
And our Kevin Sullivan memory today is going to be with Cuban Assassin.
Yeah,
later on in the program.
Yes, because he definitely spent some time with Kevin over the years in his time in WCW and I'm sure Florida Championship Wrestling and all of his time up and down the East Coast and
Portland.
How much did Kevin do in Puerto Rico? Do you know?
Kevin did a lot in Puerto Rico. Kevin worked often in Puerto Rico. Yeah, he worked a lot in California. He worked early days in Texas and Knoxville. Kevin worked all over. Everyone remembers him from Florida, but he also worked a lot he actually worked in the old Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the WWF. Actually, there's a match for him, Madison Square Garden, against Bruiser Brody, two guys who are not usually associated with World Wrestling Federation, where WWE were actually working for Vince McMahon Sr. in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. And I'm sure that Cuban Assassin will have a lot to talk about when it comes to Puerto Rican wrestling and his time down there, because he really made a name for himself down there. And I went back, I watched some of his matches that were a little bit more mainstream. He did a couple of dark matches and a couple actually on TV matches with the WWF in the 90s, and then he had a feud with Jim Duggan, and I must have completely missed it
WCW
on the recount I did of WCW, but he had a feud for the United States title with Jim Duggan in 2000, I think it was.
Yep, and he was also tag team with Ricky Santana as the Cuban Connection.
Yes, yeah, in the mid 90s, he was doing a lot of that because I saw he had 2 runs with WCW, and unfortunately, it said he didn't make it for the tryout for the WWF, but I did watch a match with him and Aldo Montoya, the Portuguese Man of War, who later on became Just Incredible. And Just Incredible, as many of you know, big talent in ECW, along with Bill Alfonso, who I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit with the Cuban Assassin as well. Good friends with him and family with him, so we'll have a lot to talk about, guys.
Shout out to Bill Alfonso, Daddy.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Bill Alfonso. Bill, call us. We want to chat with you, brother. Whenever you get a chance, that'd be really, really cool. Andrew, anything going on? Anything coming up?
I have a show in Jersey City this Saturday for East Coast Pro Wrestling. That's this Saturday in Jersey City, the 15th. And then I have another match was originally in Elmore, West Virginia, but they moved it for USA Pro Wrestling. They moved it to Glen Burnie, Maryland, and that's the following weekend. So what's the date on that? The 28th? I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is like the 28th. 28th, 29th, and 30th. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that Saturday too. So yeah, so I'm keeping busy. Things are going on, things are moving, and a lot of conventions coming up. So through the summer, taking bookings through the summer yet. So we'll see what we have open. I just got called today. Actually, I haven't confirmed it yet, but for old school pro wrestling with Big Steel in Georgia, he called me up to come down. So we'll see if that's going to happen, if I'm open, and let's concentrate on getting Reinforcer Radio more mainstream appeal.
Yes, we're gonna do everything we possibly can. We really appreciate the support that you guys have been giving us to this point. We really want to continue to build this thing up, so that way Andrew doesn't have to beat his body up every week in the ring, and I don't have to beat my mind up on an ambulance every free.
We got a special little guest over here.
Yeah, if you heard a little bit of crying in the background, it is not Karen wishing to get out of here.
Karen's over here.
It is the third member of the trio here of the Reinforcer. This is little Miss Bailey, and of course you all know Miss Karen as well. But Bailey was really wanting to get on the scene here, and
everybody, Bailey. Hi, Bailey.
If you ever come back in the backstage area with Andrew at some shows, Bailey's tagging along and enjoying everything. She's a delight for the wrestlers. I know I'm a big dog person, so I always love Miss Bailey being here.
I'm saving up some of that dog piss for somebody's gym bag.
Well, we'll have to figure out who the lucky one is going to be that's going to
figure that one out.
I saw you posted on your Facebook. You're going to be doing a podcast coming up with Stanley Carr.
We already did that. That's already in the bag. We did it a few weeks ago. It was called Wrestling with Heart, and it's all about the charity stuff that I've done over the years. So
very cool. He's got a couple of pretty big names too coming on besides you, of course.
Yep, he's got RVD. He's got Chris Wright, a.k.a. C.W. Anderson, and I forget who else he has.
It looks like Missy Hyatt.
Yeah, Missy Hyatt also, yep.
Is going to be on there as well.
Shout out to her boyfriend, Matt Robles. So.
Yes. So, but that's really cool. I saw that you posted that up, and you got that. Is that coming out now, or is that
going to be out next week?
That's
going to be out next week.
So make sure you stay tuned and you keep looking at the Reinforcer Andrew Anderson Facebook page. He'll post that up, and then we'll share that out, obviously, with Reinforcer Radio. But another thing we want to share out from Reinforcer Radio is our sponsors. We've got a sponsorship with Dubby. They're an energy drink that's loaded with vitamins and no sugar, which is really, really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to dubby.gg.com and you use the coupon code Reinforcer, you will get a discount, and then obviously you're supporting the show for us. But I actually tried some of the energy drink. It's supposed to be a lot healthier, and I must say it tastes good, and
you feel better.
I feel good. So
feel energized.
I do.
You feel stronger.
Not really, but
you're lasting longer in bed.
No, definitely not.
You going to the bathroom regularly?
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely on that. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, go check them out, guys.
That's only from hanging out with me. I've been told I have a laxative effect around people.
Yes, oftentimes I have to run to the bathroom when I'm hanging out with Andrew. It is a wonderful thing that he's got going on. So, but check them out, dubby.gg.com, and use the coupon code Reinforcer, and you'll be able to support us on the show a little bit, and get some really, really awesome energy drinks that no sugar. They got some vitamins going on. You know how terrible energy drinks are these days, which I freaking love.
Yeah.
And my gut will tell you that I love them. Andrew's been known to drink a few whenever I pick him up for different things. He's always got that. Now, he gets the sugar-free Red Bull.
I drink the sugar-free.
So this will be great, though. You know, I'll have to get him a little bit so he can try this, since this is sugar-free.
Absolutely.
And we'll get it, and we'll be plugging out a lot more. And of course, you know, we still got the Reinforcer coffee.
That's right. From JaniceCoffeeRoasters.com. Order yours today.
Yeah, you can get on there and check that out. But guys, if you stay tuned, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have the Cuban Assassin, Fidel Sierra, is going to be on. and hopefully his lovely wife, Fantasy, will be on. Who's been his manager for
Got
many years,
almost 20 something years.
Yeah, for a long time. So we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with Fidel and Fantasy.
Reinforcer Radio.
Guys, welcome back. Reinforcer Radio back on the air with you. I am Jeff Lawhorne. Of course, you know this guy over here, the Reinforcer himself, Andrew Anderson. And as you can see on the screen, if you're watching on our YouTube channel, we've got a legend sitting in front of us right here. Many of you will know him as the Cuban Assassin, Fidel Sierra, coming live with us.
What's up, David?
Hey, brother. It is so good to be on here with Fantasy and with you all. And I'm excited, baby. There's excitement in the air.
The electricity is running wild with the Saint, right? You were the Saint for a while.
So many names, brother.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go all the way back to the beginning, right? What got you into professional wrestling? What made you want to take that dive into this crazy world?
Wow, man. From the time I was 12 years old or 14, I would go to the matches every Tuesday night at Fort Hesley Armory. And then on Wednesdays, I would skip school and go to 106 North Albany and Bill Alfonso Fonzie. Now, we'd go every Tuesday, skip school every Wednesday and go. And at that time, Hogan, Terry Bollea was watching the same filmings, Championship Wrestling from Florida. We'd be against the wall, and I'd look over, and I knew he was in the band. And I just knew, I said, we're all going to be in this.
Man, that's all good.
And
Fonzie, that's ECW legend, Bill Alfonso. That is your cousin, right?
No, everybody thinks he's my brother, but we grew up together, so we are like brothers. You know what I mean?
As a matter of fact, this past September, Dave presented him the referees award at the Cauliflower Alley Club in Vegas.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, Dave, what are you doing with yourself nowadays? Now, I mean, you've had a really long, illustrious career. What's going on in Dave's world now?
Well, I still wrestle every now and then. I still feel like I can go. I still got some gas in this tank. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I got the enforcer now. I'm ready to go, and I got a couple of matches coming up. I got this Saturday, I'll be wrestling at Twisted Wrestling Alliance against an Indian guy, Chief Rivers, for the Twisted Wrestling Alliance heavyweight title. Then on March 22nd, a week later, I defend the Nick Dog heavyweight championship title. And they're looking for an opponent for me. Well,
So he keeps pretty busy besides the honeydew list that, I dish up on a regular basis. He does draft signing, we try to do some merchandise sales on eBay and different events, and he still gets in the ring and he does really well. He's been keeping in shape and, works out regularly and, that's really good.
Paul, you still get out on ringside with him as his manager.
I do occasionally. I don't get to do it, full time anymore. I have a regular job, but it's nice to get out there and do our thing. And,
Sure. She's got the new t-shirt.
We still got it.
Yeah.
And we got some t-shirts and stuff like that. So, and we got, contacted about somebody that's interested in working with him on doing his book. So there's
It's important. Andrew, I see people. Have you got a book yet?
I'm working on it. It's almost out.
Yes, me too. I look everywhere I go. Like I just went to the Portland Wrestling Expo. Everybody, Luke Williams, all these people, you should see the graph, how many books they sell.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, I got so many good, interesting stories there going in my book. I started on it. Now these people are going to help me finish it.
Now,
They get a cut, but that's okay. They're going to help me edit it,
Promote it, but
promote it, everything.
that's the way to do it. That's the way you make the money on it. You have somebody.
Yeah,
publish.
they get a
Now-
percentage, but they
now-
deserve it.
I mean, a lot of people self-publish, and then other people go through a publisher. Like mine was going to be self-published, but I pulled it because at the time I was going through a very bad divorce. So I pulled it. So it's been on a hiatus until everything. Because now I got the new chapter, right? All the chapters with Karen and everything in it, and Reinforcer Radio, and of course, me and you and all the hijinks that you and I do over the past 10 years and stuff. So we've always had a lot of good times. Now, I want to ask you a couple of questions over here. I want you to tell a couple of stories if you can. It's true. I know this for a fact because Kevin Sullivan, he who helped, a benefactor to both me and you, and one of your best friends and one of my best friends, always used to tell tales of you having broken cars, the seats in your cars being broken over the years, and all your rental cars and all your personal vehicles because you had to cart around a certain person. Can you elaborate on that?
It wasn't my car, but that wasn't when I was driving El Gigante around. I was like his manager, but not in the ring. I was wrestling, and he only wanted to rent big, giant Cadillacs. He didn't want to ride in a van. And I used to tell him, George, one of these days, because his knees would be his heart against the front dashboard as hard as it could be. Like if I was to rear end somebody, he'd have broke his knees. He didn't care. That's what he wanted to do. And so many trips, I drove them all over, when I was with WCW. That was because Evan and Ric Flair at that time were in charge of WCW. And Kevin called me and said, me and Flair are going to call you later on from Amarillo. He's got a good deal for you. So then they called me and they presented me with this. And it was so good. I left Oregon. I was making, I think I started off at $1,800 a week. WCW, thanks to Kevin and Ric Flair, But the Kevin would always go to bat for me, even from our days at Championship Wrestling in Florida. We had so many great times, and rode so up and down the roads together. Me, him, Humperdinck, Outlaw Ron Bass. It was, if the cars could talk, we'd be in bad trouble.
Now, another question. I wanted to present this to you too. One of your best friends was Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Yes. We had an ongoing rib. He would call me his wingman. I'd say, no, Kurt, you're my wingman. His first sellout in Portland wrestling, when he first came to Don Owens, was against me. And we clicked, and I used to tell him all the time, brother, you realize that you're just here being groomed to go to WWF at that time. And he'd say, nah. I said, yeah. I said, you're ready when they just sent you back here because you get interview time, you're involved in storylines, we sold out. Like I said, we turned away Down On to So Mad. It turned away like 1,500 people. And all he did was I hit him with a pair of brass knuckles. He got from Dutch Savage coal miner's glove, and I said, I don't want to be forced into this match, but I am. Kurt Hennig, my back's against the wall. I got no other choice but to end your career next week right here in Portland. And he turned thousands away. Don Owens was so mad. He said, Don, it's sold out. Why are you mad? He goes, Christ's sakes, because those people, they're not getting in here. They're not going to say, yeah, they'll buy the ticket next time earlier. But, got Kurt. We traveled all over at the end there. We always make.
He was just an amazing person. He was larger than life. And he was very, if he cared about you, he was just, he would look out for you. He would make sure that, I was included and involved. And he was just an amazing person to be around.
Now, he was also, I never got to work with Kurt, but he was also a tremendous ribber.
Yeah, best. And when he would rib me, and oh my gosh, bad ribs. He would rib me. One time I went to stay at his house. His wife and the niece and all that had gone to Minnesota to go visit relatives. So me and a guy named Ron Ritchie, we stayed at his house, and Ron Ritchie, he said, you can sleep in the kids' room. I said, okay. So, he was known for shaving people's eyebrows and all that. So I'm sleeping and I wake up and brother, sweat is pouring off me. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Well, Kurt, each room had its own temperature. He put me in the kids' room and split the heat as high as it would go. And then I finally got smartened up to it. But then in the morning when we woke up, he tells me and Ron Ritchie, I got nothing to do with it. Like insinuating one of our eyebrows. Me and Ron Ritchie had a double knockout running to look in the listening. But he spared us. But he got the grappler. The grappler had to do TV for AWA. And the night before, he was out with Kurt and all that, gargling to Jack Daniels like Kurt loved to do.
Mm-hmm.
After I had TV the next day, he woke up in the morning, he had his eyebrows were gone.
Thank God Leonard wore a mask.
Kurt's famous deal is, this is investigation for Mr. Fuji to find out. Fuji was a big river, and that's her.
Fuji and the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. I just saw that on Facebook earlier today, where he got 123 Kid before Kid went for the toy shoot, and the first action figure that 123 Kid had, he had to have that back card with his eyebrows completely shaved, and he made reference to every time I see it, I think of Kurt.
Yeah, I mean he did some heavy ribs, but. God, I miss him.
Kevin got me with that rib. So we were doing some shows in Texas at the time, and we did a three nights thing in Texas. I think it was in San Antonio, and I just remember waking up. I had too much to drink the night before. Kevin had an early flight, and he left at 4 or 5 in the morning, and woke up and I felt like I had all this pressure on me and I was sweating. Kevin turned the heat up as high as it can go, took every blanket and pillow and covered them on me. And I woke up in a puddle of sweat. I step out of bed into a garbage pail full of urine.
Yeah. See, I'm going to tell you, Jim Backlund put a rib on Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
And in Japan, boy, did Kevin pay him back.
Oh.
He woke up the next day with no eyebrows and part of his haircut and everything.
Yeah, Kevin could be the devil too sometimes,
Yeah. But we miss that devil.
Oh, we miss him bad. I think me and you, every couple of days we'd call each other up. Did you talk to the devil?
Yeah.
Did you talk to the devil? Yeah, the devil yelled at me. Yeah, he yelled at me too.
Yeah, he would
that
say.
was just a year ago.
Yeah, he would say.
I say.
Every time he'd call me and I'd say, Devil, what's going on? He goes, Dave, what's going on around Florida? And I say, oh, this and that, that guy's no good, but, hopefully he gets something going, and how that business is.
Well, you're not all that innocent. You told your share of ribs.
Never.
Oh, yeah, You're telling me many a times how you were in a room and Kurt said he needed a haircut.
Oh, yeah, I did get.
I used to be a barber in Cuba.
And Kurt bought it. Yeah, we were in Medford, Oregon, and it was me, Kurt, Rip the Crippler, Oliver. We had split. We had a room, and first thing, I got to get a haircut. And I said, bro, you're gonna go pay for a haircut? I used to be a barber in Cuba. He really? So he sat on the chair. Yeah, he said, I'm doing the best job I can to trim his hair. So I get the first deal long like this. I go, shh. As soon as I did that and the hair fell, and you couldn't even tell, Oliver goes, I got nothing to do with this.
Oh my God.
Andrew, you look like you could use a little trim on top.
Yeah, it got a little long, but I
got the perfect barber for you.
Oh, no, not him. I trust you with scissors before I trust him.
Come on, it'd be great for the show.
Oh my God. Cuban the barber, Sierra over here.
Yeah.
Del the barber Sierra. That's all we need. So
it would be great. If people would love it, seeing you get your head shaved by him.
That's
that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah. Great in whose eyes? Yours, not mine.
Fun.
No, look, let me cut
We could be
hair.
the bald duo.
Why don't you cut his hair? Yeah, put our heads together. We'll look like an ass.
We already do.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, Dave, so whatever made you go down the Cuban Assassin route? I know you were given that name later on in your career, but what made you go down? You've had quite a few names over the years, but what made you to settle on the Cuban Assassin?
I was in Calgary, and the original Cuban Assassin, Richie's father, called Angel, I forget how to pronounce her last name. He was the original Cuban Assassin. And we were supposed to go to Japan together, and it didn't pan out. We took the pictures. Back then, you sent pictures in. And it just didn't work out. And he told me, he said, if you want to use that Cuban Assassin name, I ain't never going to go to Florida. He named like a bunch of places. But how do you know? He said, because I have no interest in it. So that's how I became the Cuban Assassin. But then I put that Fidel Sierra ahead of it, because
he looked a lot like Fidel.
Yeah. So
I mean, really, I have a picture of him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
But so and I always think Angel and his son, he thought I stole his father's name at the beginning, but I didn't. His father gave me. Now we all get along good.
Yeah, you guys just did a podcast together, all of you, like a year ago or so.
Yeah, we sure did. That's what I mean. Yeah, all the Cuban assassins.
Well, the Cuban assassins.
There's a few missing, right? But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
That is really awesome, though. And I've talked to Andrew about him getting the reinforcer deal, and how the Andersons were so supportive of him becoming another Anderson and everything. So we see too many times in pro wrestling, I feel like, where everybody's kind of at each other. But I love hearing the stuff where people are given the blessing to keep going and to keep those names alive.
Yeah, and Andrew's kept it. He's kept it alive. I'm not trying to get no points, but he does bust his ass at every match he's in. Whether there's 50 people, 10,000, he goes out there. And that's the way I was taught to. You always go out, try to do your best, no matter what.
Yep.
And,
I just had a few when I became the Purple Haze. Kevin put the Purple Haze robe on me.
Yeah.
Dave was very supportive of the gimmick, where some actually balked at it, said, you can't do that, you can't do that. And we pulled it off, right? You were in a couple of my matches.
Exactly.
When I won the Florida Heavyweight Championship, and then
Yep, you won the Florida Heavyweight title, and I still remember when that whole deal with Kevin and Mark Lewin, Bob Roop, Luna,
Mhm.
did the deal at the Causeway, and Kevin was, for the Purple Haze to come, and and all of a sudden here comes Mark Lewin at the Causeway, Tampa, out of the water, seaweed all over him and all that, and like it made it, they pushed it on TV like he swam from Hawaii to the Causeway.
That was
Which
great.
is impossible, but hey, they made it believable. The people believed it.
Yep. It was one of the classic gimmicks and classic skits. Matter of fact, that was probably one of the earlier skits in wrestling.
That was one, where you could put a video together and all that. Kevin was one of the first ones to do that.
Yep.
So he takes credit for it, and I'm not taking away from him. He did some stuff, but Kevin was the first one to do that.
Now, I also want to get into some of your career when you had a massive career and you were very over as a heel in Puerto Rico.
Yes, God, my first night in Puerto Rico caused a riot. It was me and a guy he had a ponytail. He's an Indian type gimmick with a ponytail, or a Mongolian gimmick, and we jumped Al Perez and what's the kid Savodi, the Jumping Joe Savodi.
Jumping Joe Savoldi.
Yeah, they would come to the ring with the radio, like the Rockers back then. So they would come, and our first angle, Luke Williams was the booker. We went, beat them up, hit them with the radio. They were covered in blood. Then we put the radio on and we stomped it to pieces. And brother, it started like a little mini riot to get out of there. And from there, I continued all that. And then when Paula came in, Fantasy, her first night there was a riot.
Yeah. They locked us in the dressing room, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I got myself into?
Well,
I was like really green and new to the business. And, I really appreciate the opportunity they gave me, because I did a lot in Puerto Rico.
was that the night you did the gimmick with the brick, or was that later on?
That was later on. That kind of evolved. I did everything with, hairspray and chair and interfering and just,
Well,
it was just.
I want to bring somebody out here who is a good friend of yours. So she wants to say hello. And
Awesome.
she loves David a lot, as we all do.
You look awesome. I like that green on you.
Well, the lucky Irish, because I got to promote St. Patty's Day.
True, and it is getting close to, oh my God.
Yep.
Patrick's Day. I forgot all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to forget a day of drinking.
I'm doing good. How about you guys? Miss you.
All right. Miss you, Karen.
Well, one of these days soon.
Andrew's better half.
That's right. I make us look good.
You keep them in line.
I try.
Yeah.
I carry
it's
a
not
big...
an easy
Yeah,
job.
I know. I got the same. Yeah, I better shut off.
It's not an easy job for sure.
But Karen, you've come a long ways too now that you've been managing Andrew and going all these places, and
Yeah.
every time I see you doing better and better, and it's so much fun when I always say, look, we've been 83 years, but her managing me has been like 30 years.
No. About 33 years.
About so, but it's so good when you're together, like, you know what I mean?
Same passion, and you like the same thing, and you really, you love the business, and it would be really, relationships are difficult as is. It's a constant struggle, and Especially when, us girls are always right and they just can't get it. But
Sure.
that we just really love the business and we're supportive of one another like you guys are. That goes a long way.
Yeah, you gotta have fun, right? You gotta make it.
Oh, for sure. Boy, did we used to have a lot of fun.
Now, Karen, have you ever been down to do any shows in Puerto Rico with Andrew?
No, I have not. No.
Man, we'll have to make that a reality here.
Yeah, we need to all be down there together.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun.
There we go, man. We can go a little old school there. We can do a little heel combination with the assassin and the reinforcer, and of course the two beautiful ladies with them. You can't go wrong there.
That's all we need.
See if we can get some more riots going in Puerto Rico there.
That's it. That would be so much fun.
Oh yeah.
I end up bringing out a lot of people. I get people very angry usually.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing your job.
Natural. It comes natural.
It's more fun. It is a lot more fun.
When we go somewhere and we're the good guys, she hates it. She goes, I hate being a good guy. We like to get the people going, they're mad and this and that.
But you know what? Yeah. It was weird. Like the first time I ever accompanied him to the ring, that was at 106 North Albany in Tampa, the Legendary Sportatorium. And, he was a bad guy. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I'm really a nice person. Boy, it didn't take me long. I took like fish to water to it. Being a heel, it's just the best thing ever.
It didn't take me long because I'm a Karen.
That's it.
She's putting the name.
Don't come naturally to you.
Oh my God.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Was it safe to say, Fantasy, you prefer being on the heel side of things when you guys are in the ring?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now,
I'm sure
I didn't really
connecting somebody with a brick or anything like that, right?
No. It's good stress relief. Puerto Rico in the early days, it was scary.
Yeah, it was very.
You really had to watch it. I had little old ladies chasing me with umbrellas, people throwing their shoes at me, cups and jars of baby food.
Yeah.
And like
dirty diapers. Yeah.
And it was a whole different ballgame than it is now. And I tell you, but we also had a lot of fun in Puerto Rico. We really did.
I feel like it's like you can be two different people though, when we're bad and I get to hit people and do that, but I kind of like when I can dress a little differently and be the good person and be like shocked and, running away from them and,
I used to get on the flight in Tampa and I was Paula. I get off the flight in San Juan and Fantasy strutted off that plane.
Yeah.
I had a whole different attitude,
Yeah.
But it was great. I learned a lot there. Really appreciated all the opportunity. I worked with some top talent. Carlos Luna was there at some point. God bless Sonny. Did some things with her. And even got to manage Kurt Hennig, which was, a great honor that he allowed me to come to the ring with him and stuff. So, but yeah, I do like some girl on girl.
Let's clear that up, okay? Into wrestling, okay? She
Purpose, for interpretation.
Don't worry, I won't use that as a soundbite later. No, I would never do that. I have too much respect. Come on now.
Yeah.
but
So one last question for you guys. How did you feel, as far as like the change? You said in the early days, it was really, really rough as being heels in Puerto Rico. And obviously, things have changed in the business a lot. How did you guys cope with that kind of stuff? I mean, getting stuff like that thrown at you, Fantasy, I'm sure when you first started in this business, you were not expecting to get things thrown at you and people threatening your life and all this stuff for an art form. So how did you guys deal with all that?
Well, for me, it was, if you ever seen me, outside the ring, I am constantly on the move. I rarely stand still unless I have to because of the surrounding and the area. But I am always moving. And that really, and I thought about it, I said, that's from the early Puerto Rico days, because a moving target is harder to hit. So I'm constantly moving.
And they were good shots in Puerto Rico.
They were.
They got the best baseball players for nothing.
And just, a lot of energy. And, it really continued to be that way until we kind of was active in the territory. But, the one thing that he always kind of does, and I absorb as on the outskirts, is he always feels that you kind of have to stay with the times and you have to evolve with the times, and you got to take the best from the 80s, from the 90s,
mix it all up,
learn and use it to your own advantage. And that's what we did. And I mean, I don't mind if it's not quite as violent anymore because I'm not as fast on my feet.
You know what? It might be fun because I worked at a prison, so I'm used to people. I've gotten so many death threats over the years, people that were going to come out and come after me.
Yeah.
And things. So you know what? I maybe I was made for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was your pre-training, pre-education,
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Karen, anything else for the lovely couple here? We'll get the big guy back in here.
No, I just miss seeing you guys. Can't wait.
We miss you too, and hopefully we see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
On a tour or something, or
you
just
guys gonna be there in
whatever.
Cauliflower Alley?
Yeah, Cauliflower Alley. I'll see you there for sure.
But hopefully before that, there's a couple of things going on. So hopefully we'll be able to meet up beforehand and have a few adult cold beverages and,
Maybe we'll see you at the gathering again this year.
Ah.
Oh, that would be great. I'm trying to get on there, but we had you before. That's it. I love when they tell you you were on here like 3 years ago. When I look at it, and there's like 30 people that have been on there every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
We could do about getting you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. And then we could all see each other and have a few drinks.
It was a good time,
have a few drinks.
It was a good time. I always used to love it when Devil would call me up and say, "Hey, have you talked to David today?" And I'd say, "Which one?" "Well, Sierra, not Gangrel."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You wanted an update as to who is in trouble.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, if I would have just closed my eyes, I would have thought Kevin was there. Yeah. You got that down packed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was so honored to be able to meet him. Absolutely.
Yes. And he was always so good, and good to Andrew, good to me, good to so many people.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's so many people that he helped out in one way or another in this business.
Absolutely.
And
he had an impact in all our lives in one way or another.
Exactly.
Even this
His
guy right
knowledge,
here, never met him after he's dead because he's got to hear all the stories about Kevin now.
Yeah, and all the knowledge that he would pass on to this guy or that guy, and they would, and sometimes I'd look at somebody, I don't need to listen to him. He knows,
Yeah.
He learned from Eddie Graham, and Eddie Graham learned from, and the Funks. They all learned. They got, how to, eat chicken shit out of chicken salad.
I
make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
I want to share one story about Kevin, and actually it relates to St. Patty's Day. because we were with him a couple of years ago in Nashville, and oh my gosh, how much fun that was being with him on St. Patty's Day. Him being Irish, half Irish, and just and you'd ask Kevin, "What do you want to drink?" And it would be a triple shot of Jameson. We got our Jameson, and just wandering the streets. That's why the lucky shirt was on, because I bought it for that trip. And it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun with Kevin in Nashville, especially when we couldn't get into any place. It had to be an Irish bar, and we couldn't get into any place because everything was sold out and there were lines going around the building. So we wound up going into some country music bar.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, hanging out over there, and it was still a great time. It was still a phenomenal time, and Kevin was in rare form. It was 2 years ago.
Right.
2 years ago.
All right. Yeah,
so I think it's a good time. So
that's why it's so important to enjoy every minute.
We got to gargle some Jack Daniels in Kurt Hennig's memory.
Yeah.
Yep, we do it every year, and we got to get together soon.
Yeah, we got to get together soon.
Yeah,
absolutely. We have to make it the intention for 2025.
Yep, that's it. So, but I don't know.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking with us for a little bit, sharing some stories about Andrew, Kevin, and your time in professional wrestling. We really, really appreciate the support you've given to Reinforcer Radio and this little thing that we're trying to build here. Dave, anything for the young wrestlers out there that are trying to break into the business? Any piece of advice that you want to give the young guys?
Yeah, don't think you know it all. Keep your mind open, listen and learn, because that's how we did it. And if you don't want to listen and learn, then you're not going to last long in the business. It's the best advice. Why are you scratching that young lady's arm?
And respect, really. Yeah.
Respect. Yep. But I'm glad I got to see you, Karen. I love you, Andrew.
A little bit.
Who did I make blush?
Him.
Andrew don't blush.
Or is that his tan? I don't know.
Sunburn from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
The Reinforcer Radio, the big bicep.
You need to bring me some vitamins.
Yeah.
Anyway. Love you guys.
Reinforcer Radio.
All right, guys. Reinforcer Radio back on the air with you. Thank you once again to Fidel Sierra, the Cuban Assassin, and his manager and wife of many, many years, Fantasy, for coming on and speaking Puerto Rican wrestling and all of his time up and down the road. Some really awesome stories there with
it was great
with Kevin Sullivan, and
it's great to hear from him and Paula that they're two good friends, and he definitely left a legacy in Portland wrestling and Puerto Rico and WCW especially. So in championship wrestling from Florida, the Eddie Graham years.
Yes, and whoever we got to talk to out there about getting the Reinforcer and the Assassin down to do a little Puerto Rican reunion. And do a match down there, hit us up. You can hit us up there at Reinforcer Radio.
Well, we're going to have a good friend of mine, Joe Bravo, on. He's from IWF. He's one of the guys who brought me down to the Dominican Republic. Him and I have been wrestling against each other on and off for the last few years, for about, I'd say, good 7-8 years. Joe is a great, talented guy. We're going to have him on pretty soon. He's probably the hookup to talk to.
Oh, there we go. And maybe we can do something. Maybe we can bring the show down there, or at least it can come down and cover it for you and do some really cool things.
That'd be awesome.
Puerto Rico was really beautiful when I was down there, and I'd love to see more of Puerto Rico, and not just the touristy side of San Juan. You know what I mean? Yes. So we will definitely have to figure that out. We've got a couple other people that hopefully will get back to us very soon. We got to get lined up here and get on the show. But if not, you're still going to see our mugs on here talking professional wrestling. We still want to get a show going about tag teams, about how the business has changed, the unfortunate drug abuse and substance abuse in the business. There's a lot of topics that we really want to cover. We've been lucky enough that we've had several people from your life that have wanted to come on, and we have plenty more that want to come on, and we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep bringing on as many people as we can.
We're also going to have a lot of indie promoters, indie talent, and we're actually going to start featuring an indie spotlight coming up, right?
Yes, we are, and that's going to be really, really cool. Real quick, I'm bringing something here up on my iPad. I didn't tell Andrew about this because I love dropping little things on him just to get his reaction. But I wanted to announce this on Reinforcer Radio that if you go to reinforcerradio.com, oh, I got to spell it right first, radio, you can see the brand new website of Reinforcer Radio, and you can check out all of our stuff on there. I had a wonderful young lady out of Philadelphia. I will post her information up. She made this really awesome site for Andrew and I, where it has all of our videos, all of our stuff, all the podcasting stuff. We're going to be starting a little bit of a blog on there where we can actually interact with some of the wrestling community. We can get the mailing list up and going where we can keep you guys posted on what's going on here on Reinforcer Radio. And then hopefully down the road, we'll be able to start getting some merchandise together. We'll maybe start and put some stuff out. But please go to reinforcerradio.com. Check out the new site. We have it on a mobile app as well. So you can get Reinforcer Radio anywhere, anytime. And you can always go to our YouTube page. You can always go to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook.
Guy never ceases to amaze me. That is pretty damn cool.
Yes. So this is what I have been working on the last couple of weeks behind the scenes, trying to get this up and running. So Andrew will probably check it out here once we get off the air.
Absolutely.
And guys, please hit us up on there, reinforcerradio.com. There is a page on there where you can actually get a hold of us. If you'd like to be on the show, or, if you have suggestions for the show, for topics of the show, go and check it out, reinforcerradio.com.
Before we head off the air, I just want to reach out to all our fans and friends and say that if you guys really want to help somebody, Brian Knobs of the Nasty Boys is in bad shape. He's a personal friend of mine. He's a legend in the business, and he's not doing well with, he has an infection in his foot. He can have his foot amputated. He's not doing well at all. He's got a GoFundMe page, so go to GoFundMe, Brian Knobs. It's put together by a personal friend of his and a friend of mine, Fred Young. And let's see if we can, get the troops together and raise some funds to help Knobs get out of his financial hole that he's in with medical issues. And the hurricane actually damaged his home. They're living out of a hotel for a while, and he's been in a facility, nursing facility for his diabetic injury to his leg. So
yes, so anything you guys can do, these guys, unfortunately, they can't do it forever. They need help sometimes, and this is where we in the wrestling community can come together and try to help out another pro wrestler and somebody who's given us a lot in the Nasty Boys over the years.
And we'll share that site, the GoFundMe page, on Reinforcer Radio and on the website.
Yes, we will. Another thing I did see on your Facebook page too for Brian Knobs was the live stream benefit that Buff Bagwell is going to be putting on March 13th. From 7 to 10, judging from the flyer, he's going to have some really big names on there.
A lot of firepower on there. Booker T, Buff himself, let's see, Mick Foley, Chavo Jr., who else?
DDP is on there. Luger, congratulations to Lex Luger on his nomination and getting into the WWE Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Very, very cool that he's doing that. So new Hall of Famer going to be on there as well. I see Jimmy Hart, the legendary Mark Marrow is going to be on that one as well. And one person who completely changed WCW, and in my opinion, for the better, and I'm sure Andrew would agree with the fact he was a tough, in-your-face professional wrestler. Bill Goldberg's going to be on there as well.
Bill Goldberg is a legend, man. He's the man. He still is the man. Yeah, I think Bill is a great guy. And I also want to congratulate Tugboat, Fred Ottman, Typhoon, Big Steel Man, on his Hall of Fame induction and posthumously his tag team partner, the Earthquake.
Yeah.
Don Tenta.
Yes, the Earthquake and Typhoon going to get in there as well.
Natural disasters.
Yes, some classic tag teams there, which we really got to talk tag teams. I've been itching to talk tag teams ever since our Legion of Doom talk where we had a little bit about those guys and about some different wrestlers. So we really got to talk tag teams here coming up. But please,
Denim Zubaz.
I did see that. You were throwing back there. So Typhoon, Earthquake, congratulations, guys. You absolutely deserve it. I remember as a kid, you guys were some of the scariest heels that I faced as a young man, especially Earthquake. He terrified the hell out of me in the early days. But congratulations to them, and then also congratulations to the Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool, is getting inducted on the female side of things.
Congratulations to her as well.
So congratulations, Michelle McCool. Taker's got a great podcast out there where he's got a lot of people on. If you want to check that out, make sure you check out Taker's podcast. But congratulations to all those guys getting into the WWE Hall of Fame. Mr. Anderson, anything for the good of the people.
Check me out on Only Wrestlers, Andrew Anderson. Check out The Lovely Miss Karen. Also on Only Wrestlers, The Lovely Miss Karen. You can get our pictures on there. You can get exclusive pictures, special pictures, and some made-to-order pictures if you want. So, a lot of good stuff out there. And we just dropped some new photos and some new pics on both sites. So, and some videos too. So
very cool, very cool. So once again, thank you to the Cuban Assassin for joining us for a little bit, and his lovely wife and manager, Fantasy. Thank you to the lovely Bailey, the third member of the trio of the triple threat here of the Andersons. Thank you to Miss Karen for coming on and beautifying the screen for a few minutes because our ugly mugs definitely don't do that. And thank you to you, Andrew.
Thank you to you for making this all happen, All
right, guys. Well, listen, we are going to catch you the next time around, which should be in about a week.
Just remember, if you don't watch Reinforcer Radio, I will come to your house. And I will not only punch your mama in the mouth, I'll kick your grandpappy in the nuts. See ya.
Hang on, I want to do that real quick. So I know he does it real well, but I'm going to tell you this time that if you don't listen and subscribe to Reinforcer Radio, I'm coming to your house with this guy, and we're both going to punch your mother in the mouth. We'll catch you next time, guys. See ya.